Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is a beloved iteration of the character. Even more so now with the recent release of Spider-Man No Way Home, the original Spider-Man trilogy was a box office smash. Along with the 1-2 combo of Blade and X-Men, people were beginning to believe in superhero movies again, after they were failing in the 90s. Why were they failing, can you ask? Bat nipples. But that's a topic for another day. Today we're talking about what could have been Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4. Following the mixed reception of Spider-Man 3, Sony and Sam Raimi began production on Spider-Man 4 in 2008, with a release date set for May 6, 2011. But Sony was secretly planning a Spider-Man reboot as they were losing faith in Sam Raimi. Tobey Maguire, Kirsten Dunst, and J.K. Simmons were expected to return as usual, with even Bryce Dallas Howard reprising her role as Gwen Stacy, but to what extent is unknown. The plot would have centered around Peter and MJ now being married, which turned out to be alluded to in No Way Home, ironically enough.
You have someone?
No. I got no time for Peter Parker stuff, you know? Do you?
That's a little complicated.
No, I understand. I guess it's just not in the cards for guys like us.
Well, I wouldn't give up. It took a while, but we made it work.
MJ would continue to pursue her acting career, while Peter continued his duties as Spider-Man. Peter would have to balance his married life with his responsibilities as Spider-Man, starting with an opening montage of Peter catching some C-list and D-list villains, including Shocker, the Rhino, the Prowler, Stealthman, and Mysterio, whom was going to be portrayed by Bruce Campbell, where his previous roles would have been revealed to be identities created by Quentin Beck. Side note, just imagine Stealthman on the big screen, that would just look hilarious. Anyways, Adrian Toomes, aka Vulture, who would have been played by John Malkovich, would have bought out the Daily Bugle, forcing JJJ to a possible lower position within the company. This could potentially have put some dynamic tension later on when Peter fights the Vulture. Vulture was said to be Spidey's deadliest villain yet, instantly kicking his ass in the first encounter. While we don't know exactly how that would play out, we do have some concept art of their fight. Cut into later on in the script, and Spidey would meet Felicia Hardy, aka Black Cat, played by Anne Hathaway, or more infamously known in the script, Vultress, which is just the dumbest idea ever for this movie. Felicia would have been extremely flirty towards Peter, just like in the comics, which would have put some strain on Peter's marriage. In this film, Felicia was said to be the Vulture's daughter, again another stupid idea, and she would have helped the Vulture fight Spider-Man in their encounters before taking Peter's side later on to take down the Vulture. The film would have ended with MJ filing for divorce, where she would have chased after another guy that just came right back to Peter in Spider-Man 5, if we're being honest. With the last shot of the film presumably showing Kirk Connors turning into the Lizard to set up Spider-Man 5. Sam Raimi wanted Spider-Man 4 to be, quote, the best Spider-Man yet, after his very public disappointment with Spider-Man 3.
If a director doesn't love something, it's wrong of them to make it.
However, burnout with working on the Spider-Man franchise for 9 years, combined with Raimi's disliking for every script that Sony handed to him, led to the cancellation of Spider-Man 4, and Sony moved on with their plans for The Amazing Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire would go on to star in movies such as The Paperboy, and Anne Hathaway never got the chance to play a flirty and seductive cat-themed comic book character again. Huh. Would I have liked to see Spider-Man 4? As a kid, absolutely. As someone who grew up with all three Spider-Man, I love each in their own right. But Tobey's movies have always stuck out to me. I even love Spider-Man 3, despite some of its more questionable choices. Mostly due to nostalgia though, that's why I love the film. However, if Sam Raimi's Spider-Man series had continued, we wouldn't have gotten Andrew Garfield or Tom Holland's MCU Spider-Man, and therefore never have gotten No Way Home. And I much prefer having seen all three Spider-Man together than just having received another Spider-Man sequel. With that said though, if Sony wanted to make a Spider-Man 4 now, I am all for it. I'd like to give a huge shout out to the very talented Ellen Raffel for making the character stills for Scolio. This video could have not been made without him. So go read his comics now.